Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell, joined by Richard Mulrooney. And Coach, I know a very tense weekend as everyone was going into the last weekend. Some were worried about seeding. You and USF were very concerned about trying to get results, get into the conference tournament. And when I got on the web the other night, I checked to see what USF was doing against Temple and saw that they were winning early. And then we took the early goal from SMU. And I thought, oh, no, we're going to get the two things we don't want. But you guys, you responded quickly. 3 goals in 18 minutes in the first half. You added 1 in the second half. And what a night for Tiger soccer to cap off. What a really nice season it was as far as turning things around after a very slow start.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just all summed it up. We were in the same boat. Just great opportunity playing in the last game. And while you'd rather have it wrapped up, you still have the opportunity to advance into the tournament in that last game. But 2 minutes in to give that goal up, we made it tough on ourselves. And obviously following the USF game on our phone as well, knowing that they were up. Yeah, it was just a sort of a double-edged sword there that, man, we sort of did it to ourselves. But as I've said all along, this year's been a lot of adversity. We started the year out 1-6-1. Everybody knows that. Took us a long time to figure out who we were, our identity, how we wanted to play. And then obviously starting the conference 0-2, another one that, that's not really the way you want to start. But this team has had just some resiliency, coming back from, the slow start, of the conference. So it was just sort of fitting that we went down the other night. USF goes up, and knowing that, we've got a win or tie at SMU on their senior night. It just sort of, you have to smile about it for the fact that the guys came back and to get 3 goals in the next 20 minutes. And then obviously tack one on later on. And basically shut them out the rest of the game. I mean, that speaks highly of how motivated the guys were and how focused they were to see that game out. So all in all, got us into the tournament and going from not even knowing if we're going to go into moving up to the 3rd spot. Awesome. But our goal was to get in the tournament. And, there's 3 other teams that are very good teams. Whether you have to play UCF first, SMU or Tulsa, it didn't really matter. It was just a matter of giving us that opportunity to get there. And the guys sealed that by getting the ticket and the win the other night. And we're just pleased to be moving on.
Prior to the game, because, USF's over in the Eastern time zone. So they start at an hour before you. And let's face it, as much, even in the locker room, as I'm sure you try to keep things quiet. I'm sure you and the coaching staff were kind of monitoring what was going on. I'm sure the guys had an idea what's going on over there. How hard is it to, you need to see what's going on, maybe to create more urgency. But again, if you don't take care of your match, it won't matter anyway. So what's it like an hour before, first touch when things are going on that directly affect you? Yeah,
I mean, that's it. You're trying to keep it from the guys because at the end of the day, even if USF lost, we wanted to win. You want to go in with confidence going into the conference tournament. You want to go in knowing that that's just not who we are. We're one that will show up for the first minute to the last minute. And, it's if you were to take a loss and leave it all on the line, that's fine. But even if USF had lost, it's not like I would have brought the starters out or just parked the bus. I mean, this is a team that, I don't think he knows any different other than to go out and fight. And for me to give a mixed signal like that, I wouldn't have done that. So, but on my end too, knowing that USF was up, obviously knowing that what we have to do at that point in time, what's best for our team, you have to monitor it. I'd be foolish not to. But in saying that, you want to keep the guys focused. But, with social media, with everything going on, they probably knew the score before I did. But in saying that, it didn't affect them. And obviously we came out on top with it. But obviously just trying to keep an eye in terms of what's best for your team of, to go push for that goal, or do we need a tie, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I think the guys had one thing in mind, and it was to go in and get a win. And fortunately, we were able to find that.
Is it a matter of maybe at pregame meal, just tell everybody, look, we know stuff gets out. Just don't talk about it in the locker room. If you know the score, don't worry about it. Let's just play ball.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just be professional. Like I said, whether we were 0-9 going into the game or 9-0, my idea is that every time when you step on between the lines on the field, you give it your all. And if you do that, then you can accept it. But if you're starting to play the game of, well, if this, if that, then you're not really focused. You're not really giving your all, and you're selling your teammates short and you're selling yourself short. So like I said, it was sort of an unwritten rule the other night that, whatever's going on in another game, that's going to take care of itself. We can take care of business here in Dallas. And at the end of the day, if you win or tie, I promise you're going to get in the tournament. And that's how it worked out.
I know probably a very happy trip on the way back, then a couple days to kind of decompress. Not really a couple days, maybe half a day to decompress. Now you had to turn your focus because conference tournament, the way it's set up this year, is that you're straight to the semifinals. It's no longer a home match for the 3 through the 6 seeds. It's just the top 4 go now that Connecticut's left the league. So that leaves you a team short. So right to the semifinals on Wednesday afternoon against UCF. The tournament, of course, will be played at the top seed, Tulsa.
Yeah, it is. You skip that game out. So I guess being on this end of it now, not having to play that game, it's nice just because, at the end of the year, everybody's tired, but you're also excited and you can fight through that just as easily. But to add a quarterfinal game on it, at the end of the day, I think the coaches voted on this, including myself, and it was the right call. Like I said, there's already a ton of matches from those Friday, Wednesday, Sundays of how you finish the season up, so on and so forth. So I'm happy to get straight to the semis. But it doesn't get any easier. You have a UCF team that's obviously, I think they just played at Tulsa. I'm assuming they went home and now have to fly back. So we all have our pros and cons of this, but at the end of the day, it's the semis, and every team's going to be up for it. And like I said, whether we're going to be matched up with Tulsa or SMU or UCF, there's no easy, to say you'd rather play one team than the other. It's not true. UCF, we almost ended up going there. They had a chance to host this. Obviously, we were 0-2 versus Tulsa this year. Obviously, we're fortunate enough to beat SMU twice, but all the games are tough. And at the end of the day, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. So, again, I think the focus is on us, making sure that we've got our legs back underneath us, that we take care of everything off the field. There's this thing called school going on too. So you talk about student athletes having a lot going on. You have COVID still in there. You've got travel. We've done a ton of travel the last couple of weeks. Now, obviously, you have this. Your school starting to wrap up a little bit, getting closer to midterms and exams and all that. So there's a lot on their plate, but my main focus to them was just focus on that. Obviously, Fernandez, who's our academic advisor, does a great job of keeping them up with school. He's going on the trip with us. So yes, we need to keep up with school, but at the end of the day too, this is a great opportunity for us. And let's not let this slip by because we didn't take care of that, or, we weren't prepared for this. I think my staff's done a good job over the last couple of days in terms of food, hotel, all those things that the players don't have to focus on. So when they step on the field, they're taken care of, and they can play to the best of their ability to represent their family and, more importantly, the University of Memphis.
And going into the match in the tournament, before we wrap it up, you do have to like the way you're going in. You're one of the hotter teams with this second half surge going into the conference tournament.
Yeah, you've heard it before. You always, at the end of the year, we just saw it with the Atlanta Braves. You see it in all sports that, when a team's starting to play well at the end of the year, you'd rather have that than starting to sort of fail off and tinker. And a couple of years ago, the same thing happened with us. We were hot earlier on, later on, we sort of tinkered off, and Temple popped us in the quarterfinals. Whereas this year, we were really slow off the gate. Got hot, maybe took a loss here or there, but at the end of the day, to win at SMU, and obviously we played well in the USF game too. I'm not going to take that away as well. We just didn't get the result, but we're playing well enough to, we have confidence that we can beat anybody. But we've also learned this year that if we let our level drop, or if we have some of those critical errors or aren't finishing our chances, we're good enough to lose as well. So it's been a taxing but fun year, but it's a year that I think we're well prepared for this semifinal game, and quite frankly, I'm excited about it against a UCF team that, they've been the top of our conference for a long time, so they're not going to make it easy on us by any means.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. We will catch up with you next week.
You got it, Jeff. Thank you.
That's Richard Mulrooney. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.